Today we discuss mutation. Mutation is basically a change that occurs in our DNA sequence either due to mistakes when the DNA is copied or as a result of environmental factors such as UV light. Mutation results in change in the genotype and the phenotype of an organism. In addition to recombination, mutation is another phenomenon that leads to variation in DNA. So if there is a change in the DNA sequence, either the change in a nucleotide or the changes in the structure of the chromosome, that is mutation. And the reason for mutation can be different agents which are known as mutagens, or it can be due to the mistakes that occur when DNA is copied or when the DNA is replicated. Mutation results in changes in genotype and phenotype. So when DNA sequence change, the genotype changes, and when genotype changes, the phenotype also changes. And mutation is one of the reasons for variation in DNA. So there can be other reasons also, but mutation is one of the major reasons for variation. Mutagens are natural or artificial agents which change either structure or sequence of the DNA, or we can say mutagens are the agents that cause mutation. Now, type of mutagens: physical mutagens like heat, radiation, for example UV rays is a physical mutagen. Chemical agents like mustard gas, metal ions, ethidium bromide, and other chemicals which may cause mutation. And biological agents, the virus, some viruses and some bacteria can cause mutations. So these are biological mutagens. Now we come to the type of mutation. Now there can be two types of mutation. One is known as the gene mutation or point mutation, and second is known as chromosomal mutation. In gene mutation, this only affects one or some of the nucleotide sequence. So that is why it is also known as point mutation. So either one nucleotide can be replaced by another, or nucleotide can be added or deleted, addition or deletion of nucleotides. So that is also gene mutation. While as chromosomal mutation, there is the structure, the change in structure of the chromosome, and also it can be change in the number of chromosome, that is the chromosome number can increase or decrease due to mutation. So these are the two types of mutation which we will discuss one by one. First we will discuss gene mutation. So gene mutation or point mutation, so this mutation is where single nucleotide base is changed. So one nucleotide base is replaced by another base, or one base is inserted, or one base is deleted from the DNA sequence. Type of gene mutation: substitution. Substitution is where one nitrogenous base is replaced by another. Deletion is when one nitrogenous base is lost, one or more nitrogenous base is lost. And insertion is one or more nitrogenous bases are added to the DNA segment. Let us see some examples of gene mutation. Sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is a autosomal linked recessive trait in which mutant hemoglobin molecule undergoes polymerization under low oxygen tension, causing change in the shape of RBC from biconvex disc to elongated sickle-like structure. So what happens in sickle cell anemia is that, as you can see here, this is the normal size or the normal shape of RBC, but in this case you can see the shape of the RBC becomes sickle shaped. So under low oxygen tension, when oxygen tension is low, the shape of the normal RBC, which is biconcave, that becomes sickle shaped. Okay, now why does this occur? Now defect is caused by substitution of glutamic acid by valine at the 6th position of the beta globin chain of the hemoglobin molecule. The substitution of amino acid in the globin protein results due to single base substitution at the sixth codon of the beta globin gene, that is GAG to GUG. So if you see in this diagram, so the normal gene has this base, and when mRNA is formed, so it becomes this, and this is the code which codes for this amino acid, that is glutamine. Now here what happens is that there is a substitution, where you can see where it was CTC and GAG, here it is becoming CSC and GTG. So because of the substitution, or because one base is replaced where T is replaced by A, the RNA form is also different, that is GUG. Now this code, it codes for the amino acid valine. So instead of glutamic acid, valine is produced, and so what we have is that we have a defective hemoglobin chain. So this is a normal hemoglobin chain, this is a defective hemoglobin chain, and that is why when there is low oxygen tension, the shape becomes, the RBC shape becomes like this, that is sickle shaped. Now if you look into the inheritance of sickle cell disease, if a child has sickle cell anemia, that means the parents should be carrier of the disease. Now you see, this is the two parents, their genes, this is the normal hemoglobin gene HbA, while this HbS is the gene which has the sickle cell anemia trait. Now because of the presence of the normal gene HbA, this is masked in the parents, so the parents do not have sickle cell anemia. The father also does not have, the mother also does not have, because of the presence of heterozygous condition where the hemoglobin HbA, this allele is masking the defective allele. But when the gamete formation will take place and it will move to the children, so in this what we see here is that if this combination, this is a normal hemoglobin, both the alleles are normal, this is a normal, okay, then this two children are carriers, and the last HbS, when you have this allele combination where both the alleles are recessive, then this child will be having a disease. So these two children are carriers, this is a normal child, and this child has the disease which is sickle cell anemia. Similarly, let us see another disease which is also gene mutation, due to gene mutation, hemophilia. Now this is sex linked. The sickle cell anemia was autosomal disease, but this is sex linked recessive, in which an infected individual, a minor cut leads to non-stop bleeding. So hemophilia is basically a disease where the clotting factor is absent, one of the clotting factor is absent, so that a small cut can lead to non-stop bleeding, and that may lead to death of the individual also. Heterozygous female carrier can transmit the disease to their son. So mostly in case of sex-linked disease, you will see the diseases is present in the male. So the female is mostly the carrier, though she is not affected by this disease, but she is the carrier and she transmits it to her son. The possibility of a female becoming hemophilic is extremely rare, because the mother of such a female has to be at least a carrier and the father has to be hemophilic, which in most of the cases, though nowadays we can say that this hemophilia is more treatable, but in earlier times most of them died due to hemophilia before reaching adult age. So if a female has to be hemophilic, then the mother has to be a carrier and the father has to be hemophilic. But in case of male, if the mother is a carrier and father is normal, then the male will have this disease, that is hemophilia. Now let us look into the inheritance pattern of this disease. Now see, the father is a normal, the mother is a carrier. So there can be different combinations, out of which this combination, this boy will be hemophilic, Okay, so this is a normal male, this is a normal female, this is a carrier female, this is a carrier female, and this the male will have hemophilia. Now here are some of the advices that a hemophilic patient, the precautions that he should take. For example, he should avoid physical activities so that he does not get any injury. Avoid blood thinning medications like heparin and all, which are blood thinners. Then also over-the-counter medicines like aspirins and ibuprofen, these are also blood thinners, so they should not be taken. Then teeth and gums should be regularly checked by dentists so that there is no gum bleeding, and regular tests should be there for blood infections, especially for hepatitis A and B, and vaccinations should be taken for this disease. So these are the different things that a hemophilic patient should keep in mind, so that he does not get any injury, because even a small injury will lead to severe bleeding. Then we come to another disease, phenylketonuria. So this is basically a in error of metabolism. So a metabolic error, this mutation leads to a error in metabolism, and this is also autosomal recessive trait. The affected individual lacks an enzyme that converts the amino acid phenylalanine to tyrosine. So instead of phenylalanine converting to tyrosine, what is happening is that phenylalanine is converted to phenylpyruvic acid, and this phenylpyruvic acid accumulates in the body and leads to various other defects and also mental retardation. So if we look at this figure, so what we see here is that you can see here phenylalanine. Phenylalanine is basically produced by the digestion of proteins. So dietary proteins, tissue proteins, whichever proteins are there, these are digested to form phenylalanine. Now this phenylalanine is converted to tyrosine by this enzyme, which is phenylalanine hydroxylase. Now this enzyme is not formed due to the mutation. So because this enzyme is not formed, tyrosine is not formed. Now you see, tyrosine is used in to make various other things, like it is used in some protein synthesis, it is used to make thyroxine, melanin, and so different other things are made from tyrosine. So what we see is that because of the absence of tyrosine, what happens is that there can be they will affect skin pigmentation, because melanin is not produced properly, thyroxine, so thyroid problem would be there. Catecholamines like dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter, that affects, so the mental retardation is there, protein synthesis is affected. So many effects are there because tyrosine is not formed. So instead of tyrosine, what is formed is phenylpyruvate, and this phenylpyruvate then will break down into these substances, which will keep on accumulating in the body, and this will lead to various other effects. Now let us see the inheritance of this. So here again, just like the first sickle cell anemia, we have seen similar type of inheritance where the father is a carrier, the mother is a carrier, and one of the children will have this disease, that is phenylketonuria, while the others will be either normal or carrier. So these are all gene mutations or point mutation, where there is a change in nucleotide bases. Now let us come to chromosomal disorder or chromosomal aberrations, where there is a absence or excess or abnormal arrangement of one or more chromosomes. So here the chromosomes are affected. Either a part of the chromosome is broken off, or a part is rejoining in a different direction, or there can be more chromosome than normal or less chromosome than normal. So chromosomal aberrations or disorders can be of two types: structural abnormalities or numerical abnormalities. So first let us see the structural abnormalities. So in structural abnormalities, you can find this type of structural abnormalities. For example, translocation. So what is happening in translocation is that if you consider these two as homologous chromosome, so a part of this chromosome is moving is breaking and attaching to this, and a part of this chromosome is breaking and attaching to this. So this type is known as translocation. Okay, then second type, deletion. So a part of the chromosome is missing, is deleted, is lost, so that type is called deletion. Inversion. So you see the the centromere, the position of the centromere, this portion has just broken off and inverted and rejoined, so this is inversion. Okay, similarly there are other type of abnormalities. You can see this is the isochromosome, this is derivative chromosome, there is insertion. In insertion, as you can see, a foreign segment of chromosome has attached in between this insertion. There is a ring formation due to, so these are all abnormalities that takes place due to abnormalities in structure of chromosome. This is basically the structure of the chromosome is affected here. The second type is the number of chromosomes. So chromosomal numerical abnormalities are of two types basically, aneuploidy and polyploidy. So in aneuploidy, failure of segregation of chromatids during cell division results in gain or loss of chromosomes called aneuploidy. So there is gain, say one or more chromosome is added or one or more chromosome is lost. So that is aneuploidy. Polyploidy, failure of cytokinesis after telophase stage of cell division result in an increase in a whole set of chromosome in an organism, and this phenomenon is known as polyploidy. Now if there is an increase in a whole set of chromosomes, say there is no cell division, cytoplasmic division. So as you know, there are two stages in cell division. First is the nuclear division and second is the cytoplasmic division. So if the nuclear division has taken place but cytoplasmic division has not taken place, which is the cytokinesis, then what happens is that a whole set of chromosome is gained. That is called polyploidy. For example, we have haploid number of chromosome. Our haploid number of chromosome is n, that is 23 chromosome. In diploid we have 46. But if we have 3n, that is 3 sets of haploid chromosome, or 4n or 5n, then that will be called as polyploidy. So these are numerical changes in chromosome. Let us take some examples of aneuploidy that we are going to study. First is Down syndrome. So in Down syndrome, this is a genetic disorder in which the presence of additional copy of the chromosome number 21. That is why it is also known as trisomy of 21st chromosome. So as you know, there are basically chromosomes are present in a cell in pairs. So there are two chromosomes which are homologous to each other. But in this case, in Down syndrome, there is 3 chromosomes. The 21st chromosome has 3. So that is trisomy of 21st chromosome, and that leads to the genetic defect which is known as the Down syndrome. This disorder was first described by Langdon Down. After his name, this is known as Down syndrome. The affected individual is short-statured with small round head, furrowed tongue and partially open mouth. Palm is broad with characteristic palm creases. Physical, psychomotor and mental development is retarded. So if we look into this diagram, so first of all, let us see this. This is the arrangement of the human chromosomes. Okay, this is called the karyotype. So when you arrange chromosome according to the length, so the tallest one to the shortest one, this is called a karyotype. Generally we name the tallest one as longest one as 1, and then 2, 3, like this. So this, the arrangement of chromosomes according to their length, is called karyotype. And generally we X and Y, or X or X, whatever, according to the sex of the child, whichever chromosome is the last will this sex chromosome will be kept at the last. So if you can see here, if you see this, in case of Down syndrome, the 21st chromosome has 3, whereas the other has 2. Here it has 3 copies. So this leads to a disease which is Down syndrome, and these are the different symptoms. As you can see, broad flat face, big and wrinkled tongue, congenital heart disease, palm crease, many loops on fingertips, flat back of head. So these are the symptoms of Down syndromes. Okay, then we go to another, Turner syndrome. This is basically linked to the X chromosome, where you can find only one X chromosome is there. So this is basically because X chromosome is present, so it will be a female, but such females are sterile as ovaries are rudimentary, besides other features including lack of secondary sexual characters. So this is known as Turner syndrome, where there is an absence of X chromosome. So if you look into the karyotype here, there is only one X chromosome and there is no Y or X, any other chromosomes are not there. So X0 or XO type is the Turner syndrome. So the females, they will be females but they will be sterile. Now another type is Klinefelter syndrome. Here the genetic disorder is also caused due to presence of additional copy of X chromosome, resulting in 47. So if you see in Turner syndrome, the number of chromosome is 45. There is one less than normal, whereas in Klinefelter's it is 47, one more than normal. Now because of the Y chromosome, this individual will be a male, will have masculine development, but will have, because of two X's, they will have they will also have feminine characters like gynecomastia, and such individuals are sterile. So if we look into the karyotype of this individual, we see that this, here you can see where it should be XX or XY, it has XXY, so one more chromosome here. So this is Klinefelter syndrome, where one extra chromosome, one extra X chromosome is present in case of the individuals. So these are male with feminine characters and also sterile. So these are the different types of mutations that are that we have discussed in this slide. Thank you.